So it is safe to say that 2020 did not go as planned, but the thing that united all of us was movies. And today I'm going to go through my entire Blu Ray slash 4K collection. I'm going to give my quick thoughts on these. I don't want to be here for 5 hours because I have a lot of stuff to get through. So without further ado, let us get into this. 12 Angry Men, my favorite black and white movie, and just an FYI for those who are into the Criterion Collection, I have about two. I have a third one on the way. 1917, not as good when watching at home, but I still think it's an excellent movie and really well made. 2001: A Space Odyssey, I won't say it's the most rewatchable movie, but it's an excellent movie. 4K looks great. Now I have these two Alfred Hitchcock box sets. I still have this one because it has North by Northwest, which I might just buy an individual copy of, so that I could have this set and sell this one probably. But my favorite of these is Rear Window. It looks excellent on 4K. Next up, I have Alien and Aliens, two of my favorite sci-fi films. This looks phenomenal on 4K, and I really hope they give this a 4K release. Ant-Man, fun enough Marvel movie in my opinion. I don't have Ant-Man and Wasp. I'll get that at some point. Apocalypse Now, the version with the gazillion different cuts. Aquaman, I got this really cool steelbook, which is the first of my steelbooks you're going to see. Yeah, Aquaman, I had fun with it. Mira is a bit much now because Amber Heard, I'm not going to get into that drama. Arrival, one of my favorite science fiction films, probably my favorite science fiction film of the last decade. Next up, we got Avengers, Avengers Age of Ultron, Avengers Infinity War, and Avengers Endgame. Yeah, I'm a pretty big fan of the MCU. I don't have them all because, I mean, they're extremely expensive. I think this is one of the greatest comic book movies of all time. This is a good but not great sequel. And then these two just, I don't know which one I prefer. Yeah, it's tough to say because they are both really epic movies. Then Baby Driver, probably the most cursed cast since Poltergeist, but to me this has some of the best editing I've ever seen in a movie. We're going to see a lot more Edgar Wright movies going forward. Great Scott! It's the Back to the Future trilogy on 4K. Three of my favorite movies of all time. There's not really much else I could say. Then I got my favorite animated series of all time, Batman the Animated Series. Not just the best superhero animated series, but the best animated series of all time, in my opinion. And then Batman Beyond. Not as good as Batman the Animated Series, but I have a lot of nostalgia for it. Next up, I got Batman the movie with Adam West. You know, not a great movie, but I have fun with it. I eventually plan on getting the TV series box set when I have the money. And then I have the 4K Steelbook set of the original 4 Batman movies, consisting of Batman, Batman Returns, Batman Forever, and everyone's favorite Batman and Robin. I love Batman and Batman Returns. Those are two of my all-time favorite comic book movies. And then there's the other two that exist. My favorite, probably my favorite trilogy of all time, the Dark Knight trilogy, consisting of Batman Begins, The Dark Knight, and The Dark Knight Rises. Three of these are like my favorite comic book movies of all time, probably. I don't, well, they are my favorite comic book movies of all time. Batman vs. Superman, thank the Lord we're getting the Snyder Cut. Then we got a few animated ones. Batman Year One, Batman Hush. They really butchered Hush at the end of this. Gotham by Gaslight, and the Lego Batman movie. That one was a fun one for me. A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood, not as rewatchable. Big Lebowski, well, that's just like your opinion, man. Probably my favorite comedy. Birds of Prey. Black Panther, rest in peace to Chadwick Boseman. Yeah, it's really hard for me to discuss that movie now. Blade Runner and Blade Runner 2049. I like both just the same. Breakthrough. My second favorite comic book trilogy of all time, the Captain America trilogy. I got all of them on these nice steel books. Yeah. I love all three of these movies. My favorite is probably The Winter Soldier. And I think the first Avenger is one of the more underrated MCU movies. A Christmas Story, Close Encounters of the Third Kind. One of my favorite trilogies ever, the Cornetto trilogy, consisting of Shaun of the Dead, Hot Fuzz, and The World's End. All three of these movies are phenomenal in my opinion. I don't really know why I have these, but I have both. I have the first 2 seasons of Daredevil on Blu-ray. They never released season 3 on Blu-ray for some reason. But yeah, it's my all-time favorite comic book show. And Netflix, why did you have to cancel it? The Departed and Die Hard, my favorite action movie of all time. And yes, it's a Christmas movie as well. What a story, Mock. The Disaster Artist. Django Unchained. One of my favorite Tarantino movies. Dunkirk. Not one of my favorite Nolan movies, but it looks excellent on 4K. Easy Rider. Ender's Game. Really meh movie looking back on it. E.T. Phone Home. One of my favorite Spielberg movies. Rule number 1 about Fight Club: never talk about Fight Club. Ford v Ferrari. One of my favorite films of last year. I'm gonna make him an offer he can't refuse. The Godfather trilogy. I'm curious to see the re-edit of the third one. Goodfellas, my favorite Scorsese film. My favorite Western of all time, Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. Grease. The Great Escape, the other Criterion I own. This is a great movie. I watched it when I went to Fairbanks, Alaska for vacation with my uncle. Then I have Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 1 and Volume 2. Two of my favorite MCU movies. The Hateful Eight, one of Tarantino. I think this is Tarantino's most underrated movie. Heat, my favorite heist movie. Inception, one of my favorite Nolan movies. This is just a crazy, confusing movie in my opinion. But now I get the ending. Indiana Jones, The Complete Collection. First three are classics. The fourth one is mediocre. Interstellar, a movie that's taken me multiple watches to come around to. One of my favorite movies of the year, The Invisible Man. Inglourious Bastards, one of my favorite of Tarantino's. The Iron Giant. I got this really cool steelbook for the original Iron Man. Once again, I don't have all the MCU movies on 4K. And then I have Iron Man 3 on just a regular Blu-ray. I got this from someone that I worked for a summer. Eventually, I'll get the 4K to that and Iron Man 2. It. And Jackie Brown. I got this big box set for the James Bond 24 film collection. I like James Bond a lot, and I can't wait for No Time to Die whenever that comes out. Jaws. It's not my favorite Spielberg movie, but it's probably my second favorite. The John Wick trilogy, cannot wait for the fourth one. I got this really cool steelbook for the 4Ks. And yeah, fantastic trilogy. Joker, one of the most controversial movies. I agree with some of the criticisms, and some of the criticisms I just find stupid in my opinion. It's one of my favorite films of last year. This is what happens when your family's like, Joey, I heard you had a Blu Ray collection. I found this for cheap. Jumanji, the steelbook. I don't have the newer two yet. And then the Jurassic World Park, whatever this franchise is called, 4K collection. I only care for the first one. Oops. Just Mercy. I got a couple of Justice League animated movies, Justice League War, and Gods and Monsters. I haven't bought the live action Justice League yet, and I don't think I'm going to, just because HBO Max and the Snyder Cut. Kick-Ass. My mom is watching this, so I'm probably grounded after this, but one of my favorite comic book movies. Kill Bill Volumes 1 and 2. Probably my favorite female-led action movies. Knives Out, still to this day, like, one of the best theater experiences I've had. Kung Fu Panda. LA Confidential. The Lighthouse. This is a movie I wish I saw in theaters, but yeah, this is a great one in my opinion. And I cannot wait to see what Robert Pattinson does with the Batman. Lincoln. Logan. My favorite movie Marvel has ever done. The Lord of the Rings collection, one of my favorite trilogies of all time. For those wondering if I'm getting the 4Ks, yes, but they don't get to my house until the 11th of January. That's a pain moment right there. Mad Max Fury Road, I need to get the other 3 at some point. This is one of my favorite movies of the last decade. Man of Steel, I have come around to this movie quite a bit. I hated it for the longest time, but now I'm like, I think I love this movie now. The Matrix, my favorite 90s action movie, and one of my favorite sci-fi movies, and 4K looks glorious. Men in Black 1 through 3, and International. Mission Impossible Fallout. I only own this one, and this is Mission Impossible Rogue Nation, and this one is Fallout. I'm getting really confused right now because I've been going back and forth, putting movies back on the shelf, and then coming back to talk. Yeah, these are the only 2 I own. I'm planning on getting that 4K box set. The Naked Gun collection. This is a funny story. I asked for this for Christmas, and I get this like German edition, but that's one of my favorite comedies of all time. National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. The Nice Guys. Really a shame that it bombed at the box office. Nightcrawler. This is actually my favorite film of the 2010s. Night of the Living Dead, the essential zombie movie. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, one of my favorite Tarantino movies. It gets better on every watch, which really surprised me. The Outsiders, middle school movie for me. Middle school movie. Parasite, my favorite film of last year. Paranorman. The original Planet of the Apes movie. Really great movie from the 60s. But I actually like the new Planet of the Apes movies better. I enjoy seeing the arc of Caesar from Rise to War. And yeah, Matt Reeves, I cannot wait to see what he does with the Batman. I cannot believe I have to wait until 2022. And Pokemon Detective Pikachu. I had a blast with this one. We are finally on the last shelf. Yeah, this video is exhausting to do this year. Point Break. Predator, get to the chopper! The Prestige, one of my favorite Nolan movies. Prometheus, okay movie. Probably should go with my Alien collection. Pulp Fiction, my favorite Tarantino movie. The Road. Rocky. Saving Private Ryan, probably my favorite war movie. Scott Pilgrim versus the World. I rewatched this movie so much this year that I had to buy it on Blu Ray when I saw it on Amazon. Seven, my favorite Fincher movie. The Shape of Water. The Shawshank Redemption. One of my favorite movies of all time. Shazam! Spaceballs. And then we get into something that I have not had a whole lot of fun debating about this year. I got the Raimi Spider-Man trilogy. Loved the first two. Third one, then I got Spider-Man Homecoming. I enjoy the MCU Spider-Man. Far From Home, not as good as I remember. Then Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, my favorite Spider-Man movie. I don't own the Amazing Spider-Man movies. I know certain vids is going to leave a dislike on this video, but oh well. Star Wars, the complete saga. I don't hate the prequels like some people do, but I am much more of a fan of the original trilogy. Empire Strikes Back is my favorite film of all time, and these are the despecialized editions, and these are how I watch Star Wars. We'll see at the end that I have the 4K set. Then I got Rogue One. I enjoy this movie a lot more now. Used to think it was just fine. Solo, pretty fun adventure in the Star Wars universe. Force Awakens, a great return to form for the franchise. The Last Jedi. This is my favorite of the sequel trilogy. It's a top 4 Star Wars movie, so don't kill me. Rise of Skywalker. This movie frustrates me. It's just like, why? It's like, now it's like I think it's my least favorite Star Wars movie. I never thought I would say that for a Star Wars movie that isn't Attack of the Clones. But thank God for Clone Wars Season 7 and Mandalorian, because I don't know if I'd like talking about Star Wars anymore if it wasn't for those. Superman the movie, one of my favorite movies of all time. Superman and Shazam. I enjoy these shorts. It also comes with Jonah Hex, Green Arrow, and Spectre. I don't think I've seen the Spectre one. I will look for you, I will find you, and I will kill you. Taxi Driver. This is my second favorite Scorsese movie, and I got this really nice steelbook. The Bay Turtle movies. I need to get the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle movies, and then Tenet. I got the steelbook to it. Either this or Soul is my favorite movie of the year, and then also Ma Rainey's Black Bottom contends for that. Yeah, 2020 has been a weird year, but yeah, at least I got to see this one in theaters. Okay, we're in the final stretch, ladies and gentlemen. Wow. I think I am thankful that my collection is one of the smaller ones, because I cannot imagine running back and forth all the time. But of course, the Terminator motion picture anthology, or just the Terminator anthology, comes short with the first four. I don't have Genesis or Dark Fate. I only like the first two. I'll say that I don't think Salvation is that bad, but it's not as good as the first two. Three is garbage, and I haven't even seen the last two. Thor Ragnarok. This movie is the definition of awesome, in my opinion. The Toy Story Trilogy. Some of my favorite animated films. Their childhood. And Toy Story 4. A really great conclusion to the story. I don't have the slip box for this, but I have the first season of True Detective on Blu Ray. Yeah, this is a fantastic season of television. I wish I could say the same about season 2, though. My dad tells me 3 is good, and then I got this random triple pack of V for Vendetta, Watchmen, and Constantine. I have Watchmen on 4K. I want to get the V for Vendetta 4K. I'll probably get Constantine on an individual Blu-ray and just sell this. Then I have Walking Dead Season 5. Walking Dead is really one of the more frustrating TV shows for me. I've enjoyed the last 2 seasons, and I think Season 5 might be my favorite. Walk the Line, my favorite biopic. Then I got Watchmen, the Ultimate Cut on 4K, and then I got the TV show on this like really nice steelbook. The Watchmen, I have the graph. You can't see it, but it's one of my favorite stories. It's my favorite comic book of all time, and this is a really solid adaptation. And then this was just this is like some of the best television I've seen with the TV show. And then West Side Story, my favorite musical. And then the last pile, Wonder Woman. I really enjoyed Wonder Woman 84. I think I might like this one better. I know a lot of people don't like Wonder Woman 84, but I really liked it. The Wolverine, not as good as Logan, but a solid Wolverine movie. The third act really brought it down for me. And then I have the X-Men Trilogy. I like the first one, love the second one, third one is mediocre. And then I love the first 2 of these, and then the third one is mediocre. And then I got Zoolander. I got this steelbook. So the funny story about this one is it was pretty early on in the pandemic. I think it was like week 2 or something. Me and my family were looking for toilet paper at Big Lots of all places. And I was looking in their movie section, and I just found this, and I have like a bandana that it came with, but yeah, Zoolander's one of my favorite comedies ever. It's my second favorite Ben Stiller movie, and then I have so much stuff. This is why you do not collect movies, kids. And then the last one up, I got this big box set for Star Wars, the Skywalker Saga on 4K. Yeah, this set is awesome. All 9 movies on 4K. I'm actually gonna do a quick look for you guys. But yeah, even I'm probably gonna stick with the despecialized editions, but these look great on 4K. Prequels have their issues, but Revenge of the Sith looks nice. And then that, even though this is my least favorite Star Wars movie, that's a really sexy shot there. And then just bonus content stuff for the movies. But yeah. So that is it for my complete Blu-ray collection. I think this is my 4th year doing it. It's been a really nice tradition. I love making this video despite how exhausted I get towards the end. But yeah, next year is gonna next year, depending on how many movies I buy next year, because to be honest, next year I'm gonna kind of step back a little bit from the collecting side and just focus on me. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I might do a live show before I go back to school, but it's a blast doing this with you guys. Thank you guys so much for watching, and stay tuned.